On this week's episode, homecoming panels announced with just 2 weeks to go.
And a Women of Rock Artists series, and much, much more.
Welcome to Pelo Buddy TV, a show for the Peloton community by the Peloton community. Here are your hosts, Amanda Siegel and John Pruitt.
Welcome to episode 80 of Pelo Buddy TV, a show for the Peloton community by the Peloton community. I'm Amanda Siegel, and I'm joined today by another very special co-host. Welcome, Nicole Loyola, or better known, and Loyola, I did it wrong. I knew I did it wrong. And better known to most, and this one I'll get right, as Zag's fangirl. Hello, Nicole, and welcome.
Hi, thank you for having me. It's such an honor.
It is an honor for me to have you. I know I've spoken about you on the show many times, and I was so thrilled when you agreed to share the screen and the airways with me this week, and for us to talk about all things Peloton. So, tell everyone a little bit about yourself. We'd love to hear a little bit about you.
Well, hello. Yes, I'm Zag's fangirl on the leaderboard, and I'm about 30 minutes east of Seattle. I got my Peloton in July of 2020, so during the pandemic. I had wanted to join a gym right before COVID hit, and I just was tired of waiting for COVID to go away, and my husband asked if I'd be interested in getting a Peloton, and I had never even done cycling classes before. I'd maybe taken a couple. And I said, I don't know if I'll use it, but I'll try it out. And the rest is history. I haven't looked back, and I'm one of those Pelo obsessed people. And I said yes to you because I do love talking Peloton.
And I love that you watch the show each week. So I thought that it was I've had Tony Sinkinson in the past, and, I had picked Tony because he is an avid Pelo Buddy TV watcher. And I know that you take us on the go and you listen on the podcast on your school runs in the mornings. So I thought it was most appropriate to offer you the opportunity as being such a, Pelo Buddy enthusiast that you wanted to be on the show. So I'm really thrilled that you agreed and accepted, and it is my pleasure to do this with you. So there is a lot to get through this week, Nicole. So before we get started with the show, we do like to remind you guys how to keep up to date with all of our content across all of our platforms. Every episode is released on our YouTube channel. Just hit the subscribe button in the bottom right-hand side of the video and hit the notify button so that you never miss an episode. And of course, if you do prefer to listen to us whilst on the move, every show is available on all podcast platforms. Just search for Pelo Buddy TV and hit subscribe. And finally, we are on Facebook, Instagram, and now Twitter. Just search for Pelo Buddy and follow us on all of those platforms for all of the latest news. And now, folks, let's get on with the show.
First, let's do a rundown of the latest Pelo news.
All right. First up, let's talk about the much anticipated Peloton Homecoming 2022, which will be in just 2 weeks' time from May 13th to 14th. This past Monday, Peloton announced their list of special panels and presentations. As in the past, Peloton will have a bunch of talks and panels led by the instructors and other guests. And if you're looking for a full schedule and descriptions of each panel, you can just head over to the official Homecoming 2022 page on Peloton's website. But what you can expect to kick off the weekend will be the keynote address, which will most likely feature new CEO Barry McCarthy. But the question on everybody's mind is, will former CEO John Foley be addressing us too? Peloton has shared that the keynote will recap all of the favorite highlights from the past year, as well as making some special announcements. Will that be the announcement of the Peloton rower? Finally, and the exact dates of when the studios both in New York and London will open. We do know that both are imminent, but what we haven't confirmed or have had confirmation on yet are the dates as to when the rower will be launched and when the doors will officially reopen for members to experience their workouts live in the studio. So some, folks are really anxious, Nicole, to get to hear that portion of it for sure, and to see what the keynote part of it will be for sure. Some of the other panels, folks, that have been announced is one that I know I'm looking really forward to. It's the Power of We, where Robin Arzon and Leanne Hainsby will reflect on the evolution of the ever-growing community. It says that they'll share some of their favorite memories along with new visions for the immediate future. That's to take place on Friday after the keynote at 12 noon Eastern Time. Also on Friday will be a live panel with Bex Gentry and DJ John Michael titled New Content Experiences. Both Bex and John Michael will spend their time talking about things like Peloton's Lanebreak, producing the Peloton podcast, and the production behind the scenes of all these amazing scenic rides and runs, and now meditation. That panel is going to be held at 2 p.m. Eastern on Friday the 13th. There's also a panel geared towards the newbies, and there are lots of those. The chat is going to be titled The Warm-Up and will be led by one of your favorites, Nicole, Daniel McKenna, and Marcel Dinkins, giving newer members a chance to ask questions and get live insights on everything from creating the Perfect Artist Series playlist to live DJ classes. And the chat will wrap up the first day of panels taking place at 5 p.m. Eastern Time on Friday the 13th. On Saturday the 14th, the German community will be addressed by Myla Wiederkind, Cliff Dwenger, and Marcel Meyer, and Tobias Heinz, and will focus primarily on the German community. The UK community are getting some love too, with a panel led by Ben Aldous, Hannah Frankson, and Jocelyn Thompson-Rule. And that's going to take place bright and early for us here on the East Coast and very early for you on the West at 7 p.m. But I guess the German one is actually at 4 a.m. as well. You know, those are kind of being held to specifically cater to the UK. I mean, you know, you and I are the both. We love our UK instructors and certainly work out with them most, but they are kind of focused towards those folks. The Spanish community will be addressed by Camila Ramon, Mariana Fernandez, and Rad Lopez, and they will talk about all the new content that Peloton has put out in Spanish for the community. Some of the other panels are getting to know the guide, talking about Peloton's newest product, the Peloton Guide. That'll be led by Callie Gallagson and Andy Spear. Kendall Toole and Sam Yo, together with Dr. Pooja Lakshman, will chat about ways to enhance your self-care rituals, the science behind our mind and body connection, as well as just unpacking the complexities, cultures, and stigmas surrounding mental health. That's also going to take place on Saturday at 2 p.m. So for all of you, those that are eager to get a new badge to add to the collection, we do fully expect that a badge will be available for anyone participating. And then lastly, Peloton will announce the week before homecoming all the activities and classes that are going to be held over the weekend. So threw a lot of information out. We are excited, about Peloton Homecoming. We all wait for it. It's something that was so fun in the past where we were able to actually physically be there, but being able to do it virtual and, of course, incorporating everybody from all around the world is such a great way of doing it. Right, Nicole?
Oh, yes. I'm so jealous that you were able to go and do those in person because since I've been a member, it's all been virtual. But I think
Well,
I will
I'll let you
be,
into a secret. I
what's
actually
that?
have not. I did not actually go to the first one was supposed to be 2020 for me. I had just kind of gotten into my Peloton journey in 2019. So I didn't attend that one. And then 2020 would have been my first.
Oh, yeah. Well, hopefully it will come back to in person at some point. But at this time, I think I need to cancel all weekend plans and be able to join all these panels and all the classes that I'm sure will be amazing. I definitely will tune into the keynote. I want to listen to the new CEO and see what announcements are made. I'm assuming a rower will be announced. And then Robin and Leanne are perfectly paired for their keynote, and I must listen to Leanne. And it's 4 a.m. on Saturday, but I am contemplating waking up for the Love Our UK community because I do love the UK instructors, and at least I will listen to it later. But I've been known to wake up super early for Peloton, so I might do
I know.
that.
You are definitely an early bird, but yeah, I
do
mean,
it before the
everything will
kids are
obviously
awake.
be. It's amazing. I think it's amazing how you've done that. But I do agree with you. I think that all of this is obviously going to be content that will be, housed, and people will be able to go back and listen. So we'll talk more about it next week. But we're all very excited for the upcoming, 2 weeks.
Yes.
So tell us what's up next.
Well, a recently surfaced LinkedIn profile shows that Peloton has had a consultant named Bradford Stevens working with them on a new modality, and he happens to be a former rowing coach and a former rowing studio owner. He began working with Peloton in June of 2021 as a strategic advisor, and he also indicates that he's assisting with initial training and on-camera training for both new and existing instructors. So could this be further evidence that Peloton is going to release a rower and have rowing classes in the future? And as we know, this isn't the only evidence of a rower. There was plans for a rower testing studio at the Peloton Output Park that has been scrapped since former CEO John Foley stepped down. So will we see that rowing announcement at Homecoming? I'm betting on yes. But again, it's interesting that it was so public just out on his LinkedIn profile for everyone to find. So it wasn't actually that hidden.
I don't know, Nicole, if it was everybody that found it. I mean, Chris Lewis knows how to
yes.
find these things. So, so I think maybe that's how it was found. But no, I
Peloton
hear what
should
you're
know by
saying.
now.
Right, exactly. Yeah, I mean, it is exciting knowing, it's for us now, it's just kind of waiting for that launch date, right? And as you said,
Right.
I do think that we'll hear about it at Homecoming, and we can just kind of cross our fingers and hope that it's going to, actually happen. But yeah, that's really exciting, really exciting.
Well, and you think your boy John is going to be a coach, correct?
I don't know. I'm hoping. I have to say that I have tried to put it out there, and he is being very secretive and won't say anything. But, John has a history in rowing. And then Justin Thompson Rule, she was actually a rower in college when she was at university.
Oh, okay.
So, so she would be a great person. I know there's tons coming out of the UK. I mean, they've spoken about it. There's certainly the Thames that they do a ton of rowing on, and kind of as we're going into the summer season, it sounds like it's the right timing. Now, that would be whether they'd actually take it physically, you know what I'm saying, out on there in those kind of Scenic, or whether it'll just be a modality that they do in the studio. But yeah, I think it's definitely exciting stuff, and looking forward to seeing what happens there. Well, Nicole, next up, we've noticed that the New York City cycling studios will actually be closed on Thursday, May 5th. So Jess Sims had mentioned it on her IG story. She does tend to give away secrets every now and again. But then we did see that, and she had said would be closed for maintenance. And it's both, but what we did see was that both cycling and bike boot camps were not on the schedule for that day. So, what's going on? We love to speculate here at Pelo Buddy, and the speculation is it maybe because they're prepping, for work for reopening to the public? Or, could it just be something else? But for those that typically cycle, and I believe that is Thursday, May 5th, is when there will be no classes out of the New York studio for either cycling or bike boot camp. I haven't looked at the UK schedule, but I think that's still on there. But yeah, we'll see what comes out of that. The fact that it's going to be closed.
We probably won't know for a while, but usually when they close, they're working on
something. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. All right. Up next.
All right. Well, there is new guided scenic content. Rides and runs recorded from Puerto Rico have been added to the Peloton library, and a 20-minute ride and run are led by Mariana Fernandez, who, as we all know, primarily does yoga and meditation. But you might be surprised. She's an accomplished triathlete who completed a half Ironman triathlon last fall.
Wow.
And yes, and I took her, both her ride and her Earth Day meditation from Puerto Rico, and it's absolutely fantastic. She's lovely in it. She's very knowledgeable. Yes.
Yeah,
and it's
I have to say, I
very well done.
Beautiful. I thought that the meditation, almost to the point that I didn't want to close my eyes because it was so gorgeous. Yes. But you know what I ended up doing? Because she actually dropped a second one. So I ended up doing the Spanish one. And it had subtitles, which was interesting because you really were supposed to close. It did. So I did it. Okay. I did it this past week. And I just kept my eyes open and listened to her and watched and of course read the subtitles. Because I wanted to be able to do both. They were similar. She was set in the same spot for both the English and the Spanish meditation. I have not done the ride or the run. Were they good?
Well, I didn't do the run because I don't have a tread, but the bike was fantastic. It's actually one of my picks of the week. So nice. I can tell you that it was wonderful. And for the meditation, Earth Day meditation, I did it twice. Yeah. Because the first time I did it, I couldn't close my eyes. And I had to just look at the beautiful scenery and of her sitting up on that kind of rock ledge overlooking the river and the lushness of Puerto Rico. It was phenomenal. Stunning. And I didn't do it justice. I knew I didn't do it justice because I just was in awe of it. So I took it 2 days in a row. And I really enjoyed it.
Yeah. I've actually done it a few times. I've done it a few times. I had never worked out with her before. And I have to say, I like her. I like her a lot. I don't know what her, how much content she has in English. I'm really not sure, to be honest, but I really liked her for this. So I definitely have to look into it.
She has a fair amount because I don't speak Spanish, so I've done her English yoga classes. I've done quite a few, and I will say she's tough. And I don't know if it's just because I work out primarily with Kristen and Aditi and Anna for yoga, but I really have to listen and watch her. That being said, I think her playlists are fantastic, and she always puts me in a good mood. I would absolutely give her a try.
Yeah, she's got an amazing personality. I will say that.
Yes.
And we spoke about her last week on the show. But she's just got such a warm, bubbly personality and love her accent. So I have to then look at some of, because I'm like you. I mean, I kind of stick to Aditi, Anna, and Kristen for my yoga. And I tend to stick to the beginner classes. So I'll have to see if she has any beginner ones that I can look at doing.
She does. Look at the difficulty level, because that's what I do with her. Because
Okay.
a difficulty level that I think I'm at with her, I find actually a little bit more challenging. She just moves fast. It's very, you get a good workout with her.
Her flow is right. Her flow is
yeah.
fast.
Yeah.
Right,
Sometimes I feel
good.
like it's more of a power class and not just a regular flow, but I really do enjoy her.
Right.
And if you are looking for the Scenic content, it's always available on the bike or the tread. It is not via the Peloton app. But something that is available on the app is she has a Scenic peace meditation that you just mentioned in Spanish. And that is also where you can find her Earth Day. So I recommend taking the Earth Day meditation twice so that you can really get what she wants you to get out of it. And then, of course, all of this content is found on the Pelo Buddy website and the list of scenic rides and runs. So take it there too.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, here at Pelo Buddy, we love to share the news first. And from what we suspect, Peloton is looking to launch a new feature, Nicole, for scenic rides and runs, and it's called Scenic Radio. So it will allow members to pick their own playlists to ride and run to while on scenic Peloton classes. So for now, all we're hearing is that it would be available for scenic classes. There's been no word on whether Peloton will allow you to ride or run to your own playlist during a regular instructor-led class, which apparently is a much requested and hotly debated feature. I was kind of blown away because why would you want to play your own music if you're doing a class with a specific instructor? So that's for a discussion for another time. When I was doing this article, I was like, that's interesting. But what we've learned is that the Scenic Radio will give you a set list of different playlists that you can pick from to listen to while on your scenic ride or run. So initial reports indicated that there are around 6 choices. We're working to confirm the exact number and if the playlists are different per location or it's the same 6 no matter which class you choose. So we're assuming that if you do get, though, to pick your own custom playlist, that the playlist would have to live on Spotify or Apple Music in order for you to be able to, play it while you're on a modality. But again, could this new Scenic Radio be another homecoming special announcement? For those of you that were around a year ago, that was when Peloton had first launched the new Scenic Ride and Run experience. So this may now be the opportunity for them to tell us that we have Scenic Radio.
Interesting. I would have to hear more. I don't know. It would be cool if there was like instructor playlist, like a Ben playlist or a Sam playlist or things like that. Just kind of how they have their Spotify playlists that you can go to.
Exactly. That's what I was thinking too. I wonder if they're going to incorporate those Spotify playlists into the Scenic, the Scenic option. So I guess we'll wait and see. But that was kind of something exciting and new, and we got to hear it first. So hopefully we'll get more information on that.
Yes. And as part of the ongoing Rock 22 challenge, Peloton has announced a new Women of Rock Artist Series in collaboration with Spotify. And all of the classes count towards the Rock 22 badge. You'll also receive a Spotify badge with it as well. And some of the instructors that are leading the classes include Jocelyn Thompson-Rule, Susie Chan, Anna Greenberg, Olivia Amato, Selena Samuela, Charlotte Wienenbach, and Emma Lovewell. The classes began on Wednesday, April 27th. Selena had a live strength class, and it's compatible with the Peloton Guide, if you have that. And the series also includes the first ever 2-for-1 run from the UK with Jocelyn and Susie. And the full rundown of these classes for Spotify and Peloton can be found at the Pelo Buddy website. I have done Anna Greenberg's yoga class, and it was fantastic. Loved it. She was wonderful, and the playlist was great, and it's also a pick of the week. So definitely check that out. Yes.
I know. I mentioned last week on the show when I was chatting with Jackie that I'm not a huge rock fan. I've kind of gotten into, a little bit of it. Of course, John does have a Lenny Kravitz run on Saturday morning, or he had a run this past Saturday morning. So I'm looking forward, to see how that goes. But yeah, I'm not a huge rock fan, so I haven't done many of the workouts, and I'm clearly not in the running for the badge, but we'll see. I think it's great that they've done this Woman in Rock. I think that's a great way of, kind of utilizing for that. So you kind of touched on it in your little piece, but for me, the next news item was clearly one that I was really excited about. The UK Tread team, so that is Susie Joslyn, as well as my personal favorite, John Hosking, are now doing outdoor runs and walks as part of the audio content on the app. So Jocelyn and Susie launched that 30-minute 2-for-1 Women of Rock run that you just spoke about. And John dropped a 20-minute pop walk. So as the weather gets warmer, Nicole, certainly in Europe, the UK, and of course, North America, this will be very welcomed for those folks that do want to take their workouts outside. And I've been doing more and more of that as I'm down in Florida more often, and the weather's so lovely there. But I didn't think I was going to have any picks of the week myself, but before we recorded, I was able to get one in. So you'll have to wait till the picks of the week to see which one I picked. But I think it's pretty obvious. I think it's pretty obvious.
Well, I'm excited
but it was
because
really...
I've never worked out with your boy, John, because I don't have the tread. I follow him on Instagram. I think he's fantastic, but I've never worked out with him. So I'm really excited that I can do an outdoor walk or run with him if I want. And I love that his first class is pop, because I love listening to pop music. So I'm really excited.
So interestingly enough, Nicole, a lot of, I'm part of all these different groups, and there are a lot of girls or a lot of folks, I shouldn't even say girls, I'm sure there are guys that are doing it too. It's just the girls that I've been chatting with have actually been taking a lot of his walks outside, even the tread walks. So they kind of just put they put it in their ear, and will do their walks. One girl I know runs to work every morning. So in the UK, and so they just do it, even though it's not an outdoor necessarily. And it is, having had done, I do love to do the outdoor stuff. So when you're doing it, yes, it's certainly more conducive if you're doing it outside as opposed to doing a tread, one outside. But you make it work, and at least you get the workout in. You get to hear, what they have to say. So so it's fun. It's fun. So definitely try it.
I heard he's a lot of fun, so I need to just do that.
So much fun. And lastly, Nicole, Jeffrey McKeechan, one of the German instructors, also has an outdoor modality on the audio with a 20-minute country walk. So even the German community who want to work out, in German are able to do it as well. So they've really done a good job, and I can only see that increasing, getting more and more out there. So that's really fun. I'm excited that there's this new, opportunity, as you said, being able to take it outside, and as the weather gets warmer, it's great.
Absolutely. In other news, speaking of outdoor walks and runs, for the past couple of weeks, many members have reported issues of the distance tracking for runs and walks on the Peloton iOS app being inaccurate. Many have reported that the app is showing numbers and distances that are much lower than what they actually achieve. And for those that are working towards monthly running challenges and things like that, it can be frustrating that the numbers are not accurate. So on April 26th, Peloton finally recognized the issue, and they indicated that they are working to address the problem. The statement from Peloton reads, "We've identified an issue where distance tracking on the iOS app does not track correctly. Our team is currently preparing an app update to address the issue. So although they acknowledge the issue, they have not shared a timeline for when the problem may be solved. And I haven't experienced this issue. I haven't done an outdoor walk in a couple weeks now, but I do have many Pelo friends that have complained about this. A lot of times they'll get like an infinity sign and just get absolutely no metrics. And they get frustrated because they want to know the work that they've done and
Correct.
And have it count towards them.
Yeah, Nicole, I actually have experienced it as well. I, being down in Florida, I tend to use the tread down there that isn't connected. So I'm using my app. And even then, it's not even with the outdoor stuff. It's even using, as I was saying, often people will go ahead and use the app for the regular tread stuff, and it wasn't showing up. Now, I will say, though, when I did the outdoor walk, I did 2 walks this past week, it did work. So that was on Thursday. So hopefully they've got it fixed and it's on the mend. But it did actually work for me then. So let's hope. Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, because that would be frustrating. And I'm sure Android app users have been frustrated because they haven't been able to have those tracking features. But there is a rumor that Peloton is getting closer to releasing the outdoor run GPS tracking feature on the Android app. It was released 3 years ago for iOS users, but we still don't know the timing on that as well. But that's a good rumor to have out there.
It is. And it's interesting, though, that you say that, though, because we've always commented on how sometimes Android will get things prior to iOS users. Sometimes the iOS users will get things prior. I mean, I still can't. I don't know if you can on your app as an iOS user. I can't view the whole schedule unless I'm going onto the web. So if you're actually looking at the app, right, you can't look at everything that's being offered on the day, whereas Android you can. So it's very interesting how
your schedule.
Correct. But if you're looking, if you want to see, so if I want to run and do a strength workout, and I can't, I have to go to each modality in order to kind of put that in. So I don't know how they go about doing that, but I thought that was interesting.
Yeah. I'm just very used to clicking each one.
I know, but it's frustrating, and especially for someone like you as well, who does do different modalities. You would like to be able to see, my meditation's going to come, before, after my yoga, and then I'm going to do my Tuesdays used to be like that for me because I really used to go from one into the other, and it used to be so frustrating where I would have to go back. So hopefully that'll get updated as well soon, together with this. So switching gears completely. This past Wednesday, Peloton actually shared on their webpage an article titled Introducing Peloton's Artificial Intelligence Principles. The article chats about Peloton's guide being the first connected strength product available to the community. They go on to talk about how they had spent quite some time doing research as well as talking to members and non-members. So they shared their Peloton, that Peloton does commit to the design and development and use of AI in accordance with the following principles: diverse and inclusive, a validated process map, responsible engineering, and privacy and security. So if you're interested in reading the full article, certainly head over to onepeloton.com, and the article is there in their blog post. So an interesting article about the, the AI features that they're now, starting to do with the guide, etc.
Yeah. I'm interested to see if there will be some improvements to the guide too, with all the AI features that they talked about.
Did you end up getting the guide?
Not yet. I'm really on the fence because I don't want to have FOMO, but I haven't heard enough positive feedback yet for me to bite the bullet. And I don't know if you know the answer to this. I love doing strength live or with other members, and to high five somebody, you need your touch screen to do that. So I don't think you can do that on the guide. No. I don't know. It's just something like I like being connected to the members, and I'm used to how I do it, and I get a great workout in. So I'm not convinced yet.
Interesting. It's interesting. Yeah. I mean, I say this each week. I have to up my strength game. I just don't do enough of it. So, I was hoping that maybe that would be a way for me to do it. I also haven't bitten the bullet yet. I've just been back and forth so much that I was going to wait until I was back in Maryland, more permanently for the summer, and decide whether I was going to do it or not. But I don't know. I mean, even with it, it's interesting because I actually did bite the bullet and bought the tonal a couple months ago, and I haven't even been on that. So, shame on me.
It's a completely different platform. It's hard to get into something
so
different. Yeah.
Very. So we'll have to see.
Well, another modality that I have not gotten into yet has been Lanebreak, but I know many users love Lanebreak, and new levels are dropping weekly. In fact, Peloton has some new artist series classes hitting Lanebreak over the next few weeks. Some of the classes you can find are Paramore, which I actually would be interested in doing, Women of Rock, and then Metallica hits, Muse Warm Up, and Red Hot Chili Peppers. Unfortunately, although these are Rock 22 themes, it won't give you the badge for the challenge. So do go in with that in mind. I know some have done some of the classes thinking that they would get the badge, and then they didn't, so they had to add another class on. But anyway, I haven't tried Lanebreak yet. And
it is fun, Nicole. I know, and I do too. I will be honest, I got really into it when it first launched. I actually got my husband into it. So he's not a huge, he's not huge on the bike. He will use the tread. And I actually after I got him into it, I'm like, okay, hang on a second. Is he going to be moving my settings? Is this going to affect my bike? We only have one here. So, but he did enjoy it. He actually did enjoy it. So at least if it gets him moving for a little bit, I don't mind him doing it. So, but I haven't done it much lately either. So I need to jump on. Truthfully, the last few weeks have not been great for me from a coordination perspective for working out. Just a ton of travel back and forth. So once I kind of get situated, I'll look at getting back into Lanebreak, at least trying it maybe 2 or 3 times. But it is fun, so you should definitely take it.
I should do the Paramore one. Yeah,
if you like the music, yeah.
I want the badge because I'm working for the Rock 22 badge. I cannot get gold because I missed the first day as I was traveling. So I was only able to do a meditation that day as I was traveling for spring break. But I have done a Rock 22 class every day since, and I plan to get silver. And at the top of silver, it literally was that one day that I missed, so I can't get gold. But I'm loving the classes, and I'll hit Lanebreak maybe after the challenge is over.
Yeah, that makes sense. But that's awesome.
Yeah.
But that's awesome that you took the, you're amazing with the challenges and how you get so involved. I mean, you are just absolutely amazing. So good for you. I feel so sad though that you couldn't get that first day. That is frustrating. Okay. That is frustrating.
I thought at first you just needed to do 22 classes. I think I would have definitely at least done like a quick yoga when I got home, but it wasn't on my radar that it needed to be days. And I went back and looked. It does clearly say days. So it was just user error on my part.
That's okay. Well, talking about Lanebreak, interestingly enough, on Tuesday, we learned that the Peloton Berlin, Germany showroom is running a Peloton Lanebreak Championship. It's from May the 1st to the 15th. There will be 4 champions, one for each difficulty level. And to note, folks, the scoring system is designed to give a boost to those who ride in the Berlin store, and or who will actually end up ordering the hardware. So I think that it's really an opportunity for the showroom to drive up their sales. But what a clever thing to do and to offer. And I'm curious to see if it transfers to other other showrooms, and they end up doing something similar and having folks, get involved and see whether they'll be the champion and work really hard at trying to get it, but that came across, and I thought that was really awesome. So that was something to share. And talking about the German community, Peloton is back with another new strength training program. And this time it features German instructor Erik Jager. So the strength program appears to be the German language version of Andy Spear's very popular Total Strength. Yes. So Total Strength with Andy Spears, except it will be with Erik Jager. So Erik is offering the program is 4 weeks long. And it was announced on a Peloton blog post this past Thursday. And of course, it wouldn't be a Peloton program if it didn't come with a badge. So folks can certainly earn one within this program. You can earn a bronze badge for completing 23 classes, a silver badge for completing 32 classes, and a gold badge for completing 41 classes. There are 48 classes in total that are being offered. Oh. So you can pick which ones you want to do. You don't have to do all of them. If there are a couple that you aren't interested in, you do have the ability to do that. As in all other Peloton programs, these classes are locked and will only be available as you progress through the program. Of course, you can click on any of the class names in the Pelo Buddy website if you choose not to go according to the program plan. And of course, if you would like a full list of all the classes, just head over to pelobuddy.com as they are all listed there. So that is a nice way of, they're just way too many for me to obviously share with you in the show. And then lastly,
Do you think they'll have subtitles?
I don't know. I haven't. I didn't click on any to see, so I don't know. You know what? I gotta tell you, they gotta up their subtitle game. Mm-hmm. I mean, I've shared very often that I've been doing tons of writing with Benny, and I'm getting used to. I am getting used to hearing the call outs and knowing what he's saying, and just from doing, getting to do it. But it's really frustrating when there aren't subtitles. So, it seems like such an easy thing to do. I don't understand why it's not being done.
Well, I know many of my Pelo friends are diehard spearheads, and they love his Total Strength programs. And I would assume if Erik's has subtitles, that they like the program so much that they would do it. I mean, they may even do it without the subtitles, but subtitles are just much more user-friendly.
Certainly for strength, I would want to know what he's saying. I mean, for the bike, you can kind of put it on auto follow. And if you're on a Bike Plus, then it'll, if you're doing it on demand, and you'll get what you need to do there. But for strength, I would want to know. And Erik's amazing. I mean, I have done some of his strength stuff, and it is amazing. So who knows? And then lastly, in the news, a special Mother's Day offer was also launched this past week. It offers up to $250 off of accessories for folks that are looking to buy a bike, Bike Plus, or Tread. So this accessory offer will run from April 28th, this past Friday, until May 8th, which is Mother's Day. And John Pruitt's birthday, we haven't forgotten, John, even though you're not on the show this week. We know it's your birthday on May 8th. But it's only available in the US and Canada. So those folks, again, in the UK and Germany and Australia are not, now granted, I don't know if the UK have had Mother's Day already.
That would make
so maybe
sense,
that's why. Maybe that's why, right. But yeah. And I'm not sure if the Australian Mother's Day is the same as the US. I can't remember. Okay, so the Australian is the same as the UK. But interestingly enough, my control room are busy telling me that the Germany Mother's Day is the same as the US. So I'm curious to know why they're keeping it just for North America. So who knows? But with the ability to purchase via the web, or at a local showroom or through a sales team, you are able to get that, discount. They're offering two different options. Offer one is up to $250 off accessories. If you're purchasing the Bike Plus, or Tread, and offer two is $150 if you're getting the Peloton Guide. So you are actually able to get an accessory, which is nice because if you don't want to do the accessory package for the Peloton Guide, you can pick up some weights for that $150.
Sure. Sure.
I did read some of the frequently asked questions, and one that I was interested in is if you have a referral code, how would that work? You would not get an additional $100 off, but if you use the referral code of a friend or family, that friend or family would still get their $100 gift, apparel gift certificate. So to kind of just bear in mind. Yeah. So you can still go ahead and use the referral code for whomever has given it, to you. And that, Nicole, pretty much wraps up the news. There was a lot of it. Oh my goodness. Well, next up is instructor in the news, and I am going to have you lead the way. Tell us what's going on with Daniel.
Well, one of my favorites for strength is Daniel McKenna, and you may have noticed that he hasn't been on the schedule lately, or you may have been checked in for one of his live classes and had it canceled. He's recovering from an injury. His post reads as follows, and I can absolutely hear Daniel's voice through this statement. It says, "Hey folks, about my last week, had a wee injury outside of work that set me back for a few weeks, but believe me, I'm doing my utmost to get back to you amazing members as soon as I can. Appreciate you all." And so we don't know exactly what his injury is from. Some have speculated it's from lifting all his heavies, because he always asks us to bring the heavy weights to his classes. But we all wish Daniel a speedy recovery, and we hope he's back on the platform soon.
Yeah, I think I saw his arm in a sling, right?
Yes,
was his arm in a sling?
His dog, Dougal. And somebody was like, well, at least he can still walk his dog. And yeah.
All right. Yeah, look, I guess those kind of things are going to happen. Injuries do happen. So hopefully he'll be back on the schedule soon. And then Kendall chatted with Jay Cutler in his podcast, Uncut. They chatted about her early life, her life on the bike, leading classes for thousands of people, and of course, sharing her mental health story. You can head over to outsider.com to get to listen to the full podcast. But I just adore Kendall and adore how she is just so vulnerable and so open and so honest about her journey. And certainly for folks that need to hear it at any point, it's a wonderful podcast from that perspective. Just getting down deep with Kendall.
Yeah, I don't ride with her often, but I do love her mental health rides, and I follow her on Instagram, and I just appreciate her using her platform for such a good reason, and just really being open and honest. Yeah.
Agree.
And Jess Sims made an appearance on the TV show Good Day New York. Pelo Buddy doesn't have a link to the appearance, but we can assume that she spoke about her recent Boston Marathon that Jackie shared last week. Jess also took to Instagram this week. She had a 30-minute Instagram live, and she talked all things Boston, why she kept it a secret, the beginning of her story with Michelle, the woman that she ran in honor of, the privilege of running Boston, what her training looked like, her playlist, her love for Kirsten Ferguson. And that was, I guess, just part one. There will be a part two, and it will have aired by this time that this has been released. But on Thursday, part two will cover more of her love for Kirsten, her nutrition before, during, and after, her hydration, her sneakers, her bathroom situation, and in parentheses, she even did LOL. Her soreness, blisters, toenails, oh my, she says. And obviously, will she have another marathon in her future? Because I believe this was her first, correct?
It was her first. I mean, pretty amazing. Yeah, I haven't taken a listen, but I definitely want to, I want to go ahead and listen to that. So good for Jess. Yes. Amazing.
Yeah.
Well, Tunde, oh my goodness, she is on fire at the moment.
Yes, she is.
And she is all over these days. So she had an interview on Ali on the Run. You can certainly head over to pelobuddy.com to get to listen to the Ali on the Run podcast. She also shared on her Instagram page that she will be doing a live virtual signing on Wednesday, May the 4th at 6 p.m. So if folks are interested in wanting to get an autographed copy of her new book, Speak, you are able to do so. She did say, though, that if you want to be sure to get a copy of the book signed, you would need to pre-order and register in order to do so. She also announced that on her Instagram that together with Robin, Cody, and Mel Robbins, they will be joining her at New York City's Speak, which is a soul care event on May the 5th. So if folks are interested in getting tickets, again, you do need to have a reservation. She does have a link in her bio on her Instagram page, so you can certainly just head over there. And lastly, she listed some of the appearance dates, with the first one being May 3rd, right in my backyard at Tyson's Corner at the Tyson's Galleria in Virginia, in McLean, Virginia, right here. And I am so bummed because I am going to be down in Florida. Otherwise, I would have absolutely gone to take a listen. I mean, I think that's going to be fantastic.
She's so inspiring.
Amazing. So I'm so bummed.
She has a date on Mother's Day and some in California, and some of my girlfriends really wanted to go, and then there's the guilt of not being around on Mother's Day. I'm sure if you had older children, you would just say, "Hey, take me to go see."
I'm going. Right, exactly. Yeah. So she has two more appearances. So she has the one on May 3rd here in Virginia. She has May 5th in New York at Gramercy Theater. And then the one that you mentioned, May 8th in Los Angeles at the Regent Theater.
Yes. And I know my girlfriends really wanted to go and they're not going, but any other day I think they would have. And I saw on her Instagram, she was signing all of her books, and she was just signing it as Tunde, and it was just great.
Oh, amazing.
She's just glowing right now. Yes. Cody is in the news. He was in Las Vegas at the NAB show. NAB stands for National Association for Broadcasters. And it's an event for content professionals in media and entertainment. And he had a Q&A session with Nikki Sun. We don't really have any other info on what he talked about, but on Instagram, he received a lot of well wishes and just congratulations on him using his platform. So I'm sure he had fun in Vegas as well.
Awesome. And Adrian Williams was part of the Virgin Pulse Thrive Summit, which was held in Austin, Texas from April 26th to this past Thursday, April the 28th. The summit gave folks an opportunity to learn, engage, and transform, being exposed to industry-leading keynotes and breakout speakers who did speak about health and well-being. So this Thrive Summit is a conference for employee health and well-being with a vision to transform the health and well-being experience for employees and health plan members, and to challenge, educate, and inspire the attendees. So having Adrian there must have been amazing, and he is so inspiring. So that would have been so cool.
Oh, I love all the good that they're doing with their platform. Speaking of that, Alex Toussaint, on May 2nd, he will be participating in a USO Coffee Connection Live. So the Coffee Connection Live was created for military spouses to connect over a cup of coffee while learning about new resources and programs. And again, he's engaging with various military families and just really using his personal experience with the military and putting it to good use. So love that for Alex.
Great. And then Hannah Corbin was featured in thespruce.com. She chatted about her secret skill, which is an eye for design. So she's taken us along on her journey on Instagram as she redid a home. So it was nice to see that she got to speak about something that she was passionate about other than the Peloton platform. And that's a great article.
Yeah, she talked about how she's doing a lot of the artwork. She says she doesn't want to buy any of the art. So she is learning how to, put canvas around things. And she just says that she's doing a lot of it and sounds very crafty and it looks amazing.
Awesome.
All right. And lastly, in the news, Dara Tresidder, who is Peloton's Chief Marketing Officer, was featured in Forbes magazine's 50 of the most entrepreneurial Chief Marketing Officers in Marketing Today. She's recognized for her ability to problem solve and pivot, especially after a challenging year with the Peloton brand. She's been creating her own playbook and succeeding. So good for her.
Amazing. And then there's a birthday this week. There hasn't been one for ages, and I wanted to make sure I got it right. So Chelsea Jackson Roberts, happy birthday yesterday, April 30th, Saturday. She celebrated her birthday. So hope Chelsea had an amazing day and happy birthday.
Yes, happy
and
birthday.
I guess, Nicole, if we still have anybody with us after so much news, we do have our picks of the week. So I am going to go ahead and start it off. I did not think that I was going to have one, but I have to include this one. And then what we'll do is we'll have you go ahead and do yours, and then we can kind of work through all the members that shared with Chris on Pelo Buddy. They're amazing picks of the week, and there are a lot of them. So I do have to go ahead and give John Husking a huge shout out for his first audio walk on the outdoor platform, on the outdoor modality. It was a 20-minute pop walk that dropped just this past week. I believe it was on Thursday that it dropped. And it was a playlist, Nicole, that was so beyond incredible. He started out, and I have not heard them often on the platform, if ever. So I'm stood to be corrected. And I know that if John was here, he would be correcting me, which he loves to do. But he played Maroon 5. He played Sugar. Maroon 5 was the first.
I've ridden to Maroon 5.
You've heard it? Okay.
Oh, yes,
it was
I've
the
heard
first song. It was the first song that played, and I'm a huge Maroon 5. Adam Levine is just like, oh my God, amazing. But that was kind of how it started. He then went into Promises, Calvin Harris, Uptown Funk, Starstruck, and it ended out with Justin Bieber's What Do You Mean? So it was a pop party. He was hysterical. He loves to tell a story. So his story was all about how he wants to be part of, I can't call it the coffee clutch, but we can call it the tea something. He started a WhatsApp group with the UK instructors called Pelo Team, TEA in capitals, M. And he corrected me because on my Instagram, I just did the capital T, and he said, no, Amanda, it's TEA. I'm like, oh, I'm so sorry. I seriously. But how he desperately wants to be a part of the Monday afternoon tea crowd, a tea group. And then he shared about how, has anyone ever been starstruck? And I love how he tells these stories, Nicole. He's so funny. He just gives such humor to it. And he spoke about how he met Elton John at was it Elton John? No, was it Paul McCartney? Oh God, Amanda, are you serious that you're going to mess that one up? One of them. But he then asked us to share with him if we were ever starstruck. And he did specify to say that it needed to be like a real star, because I was like, yeah, John, meeting you, I was starstruck, where I was so privileged and honored to get to meet him. But I actually did. I met Oprah Winfrey. I was down
amazing.
you have no idea. So I was down in South Beach many years ago on a girls' trip, and one of my girlfriends, we had been out drinking the night before. We were wasted. And one of my girlfriends had gotten up early and had gone down to the gym. And she knew that I was just a huge Oprah Winfrey has always been my idol. I think she is the most incredible woman on the planet. And she woke me at like 6 or 7 in the morning and said, Oprah Winfrey's in the gym and you have to get down there. And I went down. I mean, literally, she was on the treadmill. Actually, Gail was on the treadmill next to me.
No way. Gail was there too?
Gail and her were there together. Long story short, I got in the elevator with her and I turned around, Nicole, and I said, I know who you are. And she looked at me and she goes, yeah, I know who I am too. And I just wanted the floor to open up. And I was mortified.
It reminds me of when Leanne met Madonna.
Right?
And she then was speechless, and Leanne continues to tell that story, and Ben talked to Madonna instead.
I mean, honestly, so there I was. My girlfriends were just peeing. They thought this was the funniest thing, but that's what I said out of everything. So I appreciated being able to share that with John, and it's a great walk. I think this new modality, well, not new, but having the UK instructors new on the platform, especially for someone like myself who loves working out with the UK instructors, it's fantastic. So that is my one and only pick of the week for this week. I was a little sketchy on the platform. I just didn't get too much time to really work out this past week. So unfortunately, I don't have, but I know you have. So let's go ahead. And you tell us.
Well, like I said, I've been busy with the Rock 22 badge, and I do have a Rock 22 pick, and I don't think you'll be surprised, but I have to pick my boy, and my boy is Ben Aldis, his Fallout Boy ride from Monday, April 25th at 9 a.m. Eastern. I took it live, and I took it live after a Power Zone Max class because I'm in the Power Zone Challenge.
Goodness.
And I had to take it live. I knew I wouldn't be able to push like I normally do, but it was still amazing even though I was dead. And I liked it so much that I took it again. Every Wednesday I do what are called my Wednesday Ben's stack. So my whole stack is Ben. And I took it again. And this time I was able to increase my output by 24 kilojoules. So obviously I was tired after the max ride on Monday. But Ben literally, he told us at the beginning of the ride, I want this to be the best 20 minutes you've spent on the bike. And it was. Aww. And he brought a party. He was banging his head. He was hitting the handlebars. It was banger after banger. And it might be my new favorite Ben ride. After the Calvin Harris ride is really popular, I think this one might be just as popular.
All right. Amazing. I'm doing it. That's it. For sure.
And then I do
it.
have a strength class for you. Now, this is an advanced full body strength class. But I think with any strength class, you can either lift heavier or lighter or not do as many reps. Cool. So Ben was having a great day on Monday. It's his full body from April 25th at 6:30. And again, I was exhausted from all of my Ben classes that day. And then he would play a song like Justin Timberlake's Like I Love You. And I got up and I was kind of dancing around, and he just kept it fun, and it was fantastic. And I told you earlier, Anna Greenberg's Spotify Women of Rock Yoga Flow from April 27th at 6:30. I mean, doing a tree pose to rock music seemed absolutely normal and fantastic. Normal. And I know, and she's adorable. She's very pregnant now, and she would modify. And I loved the music, and I loved her in it. And it's one that I have bookmarked to take again. And Mariana Fernandez, Earth Day Meditation, and her Scenic ride. It was beautifully done. Puerto Rico is really pretty, and you rode along the coastline. She told a story about her abuela, her grandma, and it touched me. She was cycling by some food vendors, and she was saying that growing up, her grandma made her something that she loved, and her grandma always told her it was from Puerto Rico. So it seemed like it was Mariana's first time being in Puerto Rico, and she said that she felt connected to her grandma because of it. It was lovely. She was lovely, and so was the scenery. So definitely take a look at those.
Awesome. Well, wow, that's an amazing group of picks for you. That's awesome and a nice variety. So that's great. All right. So I'll go ahead and start us off with the members. And what we'll do is I'll kind of go through one and then you can just pick up and we'll go through them. So first up is Christine Durkle. She had her 20-minute reflection ride, and that was back from the 21st. It was at 11 a.m. Eastern time, and the member that had recommended was Roz Reich, 712. So thank you so much for recommending that one. Awesome.
And then I have this next one bookmarked, but haven't taken it yet. Rebecca Kennedy's 20-minute Weezer upper body strength from April 22nd at 10 a.m. The Federico 45 said it's amazing, basic, but effective moves and great music. And I know that you get the Rock 22 back with that class as well.
Awesome. Well, another rock body strength was an upper body strength from Rad Lopez from the 23rd at 10:30 a.m. Eastern time. It was a 30-minute upper body strength class. And Rad Mama, Starlight X, Jilly Bean, Jill, Live Your Way, all thought that it was a pick for them. I'm not sure who said this, but somebody said playlist is great and Rad plays tons of guitar. So great, Rad Lopez rock run.
And then we have Cliff Dwanger from the German team, a 30-minute gospel ride, and it's in English. And it's from April 24th. Yeah, I've taken his English ride with Hannah, and I messaged him after saying I would love more English rides, and he messaged back saying we plan on doing it. So I'll have to check this one out because he's really fun.
I'm so glad that somebody offered that up as a pick of the week because I did the same thing. I loved his ride with Hannah, and I'm so glad now there's one on the platform. Yes, go ahead and tell us who liked it.
A few people. Let's see here. Margie C. Patterson, Poun, P-O-U-N, 1979. Ben Sarah, Code Blue 6, Skitty Kid, and K. Mill Safe. All recommended that class, so quite a few. Oh, and then I don't know who said this, but very passionate and shares personal story, great energy. The ride was amazing and motivational. Somebody else said this ride taught me how to be patient and become stronger and wiser through the storm. So it sounds like great messaging.
Some great messaging. Yeah. Leanne Hainsby did her 20-minute 80s rock ride. That was from Sunday the 24th at 7 a.m. I did do it, and it was fantastic. And as I've said, I don't love rock, but Leanne's 80s rock is always fun. It's amazing.
Leanne 80s is always good.
It's always fun, right? Exactly.
Leanne and 80s is a perfect combination.
And I'm so excited to see that my gorgeous friend Tara Cordell was one of the ones that had recommended that. So Tara Cordell and Tabata for Snacks, they said incredible playlist, 20 minutes to go all out to. Awesome.
And then we have Jen Sherman's 60-minute My Mixtape ride from April 24th and at 9 a.m. Eastern. And Carrie Hardy recommended this. She says it's a prom-themed ride. I do know that her mixtape rides have been getting really good reviews, and I think she even has a Rob Lowe ride coming up soon. So I think they're just going to be great.
I did see that. So it looks like not only Carrie Hardy, but Mark and Seven and Pillow for Pancakes had also recommended it. So there were quite a few people that threw that one out. Kristen McGee's 20 minutes Lenny Kravitz Pilates. That was also from the 24th at 11 a.m. Eastern. And that was recommended by K-Turn, and B. Simon says Pilates after a workout is great. So that's awesome.
And I took that
and
class, and it really was a good class. She did Lenny Kravitz Proud. And then here is my Ben Aldis Fallout Boy pick. Adidas Spin, B. Hayden Thoughts, Am Stern, Julia Golden, Next Lund, B. Simon Says, and Health Happy Jules. And I think I missed one. Did I miss anything?
Yep. So there are a couple more. So there was Skelt's Kid, Gina Bean 28, Liz 311, Ellie Belly, and Weston the Cat. And some of the comments were high energy the whole time and a PR for me, best music and great programming. So yeah, you definitely picked a good one there. It seems like a lot of folks really like that. We also really had from Tara Abel. She always has the best playlists, metal theme ride. That was Jess King's 30-minute sweat steady ride from the 25th. It was 11 a.m. Eastern time and seems to have been a great one.
And then again, another one of my picks, Mariana Fernandez's Puerto Rico Scenic Ride and Meditation. Some people said beautiful sights and facts. Hello for Cafecitos. Karen Mayotte. Yes. Karen Mayotte, Tunder Holmes, and Nita Punctio. And again, Amanda, I am also realizing why instructors sometimes struggle.
Right.
Sylvia. Difficult.
Sylvia Paolo was also somebody, right? There was one more there. But I'm telling you, these leaderboard names, oh my God. I mean, as you see, I have to put my glasses on because I can't even read them. Let's keep going. Dennis Morton, 30 minutes, intervals and arms. It was from the 26th at 5 p.m. Eastern. Country Music Lady 229 said, even though it was brutal, the playlist was amazing throwbacks. So Dennis's 30 minutes intervals and arms.
And then Kira Michelle, her 30-minute new wave yoga flow from the 26th at 7:30 p.m. Brian A. says music was perfection.
Awesome. And then the Susie Chan and Justin Thompson rule 30-minute Spotify Woman of Rock for 2-for-1 was also one that somebody picked. I don't see who picked it though. So apologies for not shouting out who picked that one, but it was one that was picked. I'll go ahead and just do Rebecca Kennedy's 45-minute hiking boot camp, full body, 27th. It was from the 27th at 9:30 a.m. It was incredible. I did it. And it was one, these hiking boot camps that she's offering are amazing. Now again, I didn't feel right to pick it because I did it on a regular tread and not my tread. But it was one that I would probably do again. And it said so challenging, but a favorite every time. And that was from Nicole Day 27, Susan ATX, who I always see on the leaderboard, Regan RS5, and Danilyn Dallas.
Dana in Dallas, maybe?
Dana in Dallas. You're quite right. It's so hard.
It is
so hard.
I was taking a Jen Sherman ride, and she was like, I can't read, I can't see. And I think it's just, they're busy. And what if your eyesight's not great? Like, there's so many factors into it. This next one I have bookmarked because I heard it was amazing. Bradley Rose's 30-minute Disney ride from April 27th at 1:30 p.m. Eastern. I'm a Sweaty Mess Too, Melissa Giggles, SS Lester. They say great playlist and energy, fun music, and a good mix of speed and power.
Awesome. And I actually had the Celly Athlete, maybe. The Celly Athlete also had recommended it. Okay. Bradley made me sing along, laugh, and still work hard. This Disney fan loved this ride. So I know I can't wait to take it. I was flying back and couldn't take it, but I really want to do that one. And then who do we have next? We just have a couple more folks. Andy Spears, 30-minute 2000s Tread Boot Camp. That was also from the 27th. Queen Cheese said, extra sweaty and playlist was amazing.
And then Cody Rigsby's 30-minute pop ride from the 27th. Amanda Church and A Spider's Web. Post Vegas, Cody was great. So I'm sure he has maybe more info that I didn't have because I have not taken that ride yet.
That's awesome. And then Selena Samuela's 30 minutes Spotify Woman of Rock full body from 7:30 p.m. Eastern time on the 27th. And Bertha C. runs MD, who is just amazing. Annie actually ran the Brooklyn half marathon this past Sunday, the Sunday before last, not this one today, but last week. So I'm impressed that she's back out there and doing a full body strength class. Yes. And she said, perfect mix of upper, lower, core, and cardio. So good job, Annie.
And then Emma Lovewell's 30-minute Spotify Women of Rock ride. Leah Seychelles says, great music, and the class flew by. So, and I know you'll get the rock badge for that too.
Awesome. Well, there were lots, and I appreciate you folks all sending those in. But I guess, Nicole, that wraps us up. I am so, so grateful and honored to have you sitting here next to me and sharing today's. I'm so sorry that there was so much that we had to share this week for you, but hopefully you had fun putting it all together and sharing the platform with me.
It was wonderful. Thank you so much for having me.
Awesome. So folks, another week done and dusted. Next week, we will have John back. Hopefully he's having a wonderful time and safe time in Mexico. But for me here in Maryland, see you all on the leaderboard, everybody.
And from here in the Seattle area, have a great one.
Thank you for watching Pelo Buddy TV, your source for everything Peloton, by the community, for the community. Work out with us using the Pelo Buddy TV leaderboard tag and find us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Pelo Buddy. Don't forget that we have a podcast available so that you can listen to us while on the move. Just search for Pelo Buddy TV on any major platform and hit the subscribe button so you never miss an episode.